Okay, excited about spring practice starting tomorrow. I know we're starting a little bit later than a lot, but a couple of reasons. We felt like we need to get physically stronger in the weight room, and Coach Russell's assured me that we have. Really felt like we need to get mentally tougher, and we've worked hard with these 6 a.m. workouts, really strained our guys, and we feel like we have a good foundation, going to spring practice. Spring goals, pretty simple. Number one, I told our players, today, we got to get our edge back, and that's physically and mentally tougher. And we're going to be very physical during spring practice. We're going to have the pads on, and we're going to be getting after it with the basic fundamentals of football. Also, we're going to stress discipline on the field, and that's a big part of what we're doing. Number two, player understanding of our base offense and defense. I think that's very critical. We want our guys, when they leave spring, to have a very good understanding of the responsibilities in our base offense and defense. And the reason being, this summer, we want them to build upon things and not develop bad habits. Number three, 2-deep depth chart. All positions are open, all right, every one of them. And we want to leave spring with a depth chart order by positions. A couple notes here. Blake Burgess, he will no longer be with the team. He's going to graduate early. We really appreciate Blake and everything that he did for our program. Eureka Florence is no longer with us on our team. Matter of fact, he's not been with us this spring. He's taken care of some personal issues, and we wish him nothing but the best. Really excited about tomorrow. It's been a long time coming. I'm looking forward to getting out on the practice field with our players, and I know I can speak for our coaches. They're very excited too. So I'd like to open it up for any questions.
Gus, you were talking to players the other day, and they're saying they're ready to win. They're already buying into what the new coaches are telling them. Is that a good sign that they're aggressive?
Well, I can tell they're excited and they're hungry, and that's very important for our staff. We're a work in progress, and we know that, we understand it, but there's nothing better than getting out there and improving each day, and that's our goal.
Yes, it's only Enrique. So is he moving on, or is he finished with Auburn football?
Yes, he is.
Coach, as you get started here with trying to formulate 2-deep depth by the end of the spring, are there some players that you can mention that you're looking to possibly give us some moving around to different spots or looking at different spots?
It's really hard to single anybody out. There will be some players that we'll see how they do get started in a position, and then we will move some people around if they don't fit into that position. The unique thing for a new staff coming in is putting the guys in the best place to help us win. And so there will be some movement, and I'll definitely keep you updated, throughout the course of the spring.
Because particularly at the running back position, you only have scholarship-wise 2 players. Is that a position that we could see some movement there?
It is a possibility. That is something we talked about, and we're going to have a very physical spring, so hopefully we'll stay somewhat healthy. The good thing is those guys will get a lot of reps, and have a very good understanding of the offense when we get finished.
You said that all positions are open this spring. Going into practice, I know you got to see it on the field, but are there any positions that you feel particularly good about as far as your trust and what can be done there?
We're completely starting over. It's a new day, so there's no positions that everyone's wide open. And when I say that, I completely mean that. So there's no positions that are any more important than the others.
You talk about discipline on the field as one of your goals. Is that like making sure everybody's in the right place at the right time?
Yeah, the little things. The little things, we're going to make sure that we can count on each one, and they can count on each other as teammates. We are going to strain them. Our standards are going to be extremely high. Penalties, but really it comes down to execution of the little things.
Yeah, let's talk about the Ontario role in the offense. Some of the guys that you might get to look at this spring.
There'll be. There's a list. I mean, it's not just 1 or 2. I mean, there's going to be some movement as we go with the speed guy. Obviously, Corey is a guy that can run, that did a little bit of that before we left. Quan Bray is also a guy that can do some things, but we may explore some other positions, possibly even a defensive guy or 2 that can run coming over too.
You talk about the importance of tempo going into this first practice and establishing that tempo.
Yeah, I mean, that's who we are. I mean, tempo is going to be a very big factor for us offensively and defensively. We're going to be a no-huddle team, and that's a mentality. We're going to learn to play fast, practice fast, and do everything fast. And we think that'll be a definite advantage.
When you guys start practice tomorrow, who are going to be your opening guys as the star linebacker room?
You know, Coach Johnson's got a couple different guys. Matter of fact, he's got a list of them. He'll be rotating those guys through. Too many to name right now.
Have you felt that the 3 junior college guys have fit in thus far?
You know, at first I'm going to bet they'll all tell you, you know, a little bit of shock to their system to get used to doing things and the way we do things at the pace. But they've all responded extremely well, and I'm curious to see them in pads.
You talked about the importance of the off-season forecast conditioning. What have been the reports that you've gotten about that?
Well, Coach Russell's excited from the standpoint that our guys are getting stronger, like I said earlier. But really more than anything is the mindset, and we're demanding a lot of them downstairs. And our guys, you can tell, are buying in. And of course, they don't have a choice, but they are buying in, and they're excited to work out. And anytime you get players excited to work out and looking forward to spring ball, that's a good feeling, you know, from the coach's standpoint.
Gus, with only 2 scholarship quarterbacks this spring, how are you going to split the duties and kind of how's that going to work?
Yeah, you know, the biggest concern is, the good thing is they're going to get a lot of reps, and we'll start now with equal reps. Probably the biggest concern that you worry about is their arms. You got to protect their arms. We went through this the last year I was here with only 2 scholarship quarterbacks in spring. So me and Coach Lashley will, you know, really keep an eye on both those guys. But the positive is they're getting a lot of reps, and they both need that.
Coach, we pose questions to you, fans pose questions to us, and I'm sure to you as well. What questions do you have about the team as spring practice starts tomorrow?
You know, in my mind right now, I'm trying not to have anything in the past, any preconceived ideas. When I say a new day, I mean, I'm looking for a fresh start, and I'm excited to see what the guys can do. I do know that there'll be guys that improved greatly from the time I was here, and there's a lot of guys that you know, I've never even watched. So you know, our coaches are keeping an open mind about everything, but really from my standpoint, I'm just excited to actually see what the guys can do on the field.
As much as you've been here now for a couple of months, everything with recruiting and building the staff and whatnot, those were very important and all behind the scenes things, but with practice beginning, is this almost like the first real full day in a way?
Yeah,
I mean, not that you haven't been working hard.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed everything up to this point with the job, but well, there's nothing like being on that field. And you know, I've been excited probably since Sunday, and can't wait to get on the field and get with our coaches and our players.
Do you know of any, health-wise, do you know of anybody that won't be able to go this spring? And where are you at?
Yeah, you know what, we're pretty healthy going into this thing, and that's encouraging too. And we actually have some depth up front on both sides of the football going to spring, so that's going to allow us to be a lot more physical. And it'll help us evaluate our guys by being physical and letting them play too.
Is everybody good to go then?
Yes.
Robinson Breeze, he's a guy who's plays a couple different spots. Is he going to start off as a corner or what?
Yeah, we're going to start him off on the defensive side, but he's also going to do some return things. He's got a lot of versatility, very good athlete, and he's had a good offseason.
Is there like a bunch of guys that you've been pleased with how they handled the offseason conditioning program?
You know, I would say at this point, we're pretty well pleased with where we're at as a team. You know, it's a process. It was new to a lot of them. A lot of them are strained. We're very uncomfortable, but that's a good thing. And I think that we're in a good spot right now as we move forward to spring. And we're going to strain them again, and they'll be uncomfortable again during spring. But like I said, the goal is we get out of spring, we get our edge back.
Just you personally, what have you learned, number one thing you've learned just being a head coach in the SEC here in the offseason for you?
Well, I'd say that being a head coach at the college level, and I learned this last year, is there's a lot of things that go with the job that doesn't have to do with football on the field. And I learned that last year, and that gave me a really good foundation coming into this job. And then the fact that I'm very aware of everything, got a good understanding of how everything works. But the biggest difference is being a head coach is not a lot of X's and O's up to this point. But that will happen in the fall.
Any other questions? Is there, any specific position moves that you are gonna look at early, that you can talk about?
None that stand out specifically, no.
Any others? All right, Coach.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good to see everybody out at 8 in the morning.
Absolutely.
We'll be there.
Bells on.